people are really curious because it is taking different tracks with folks. Describe your symptoms. What did it start with? What was the flow? What were your symptoms?
So at first, it just started with a regular headache, which I had thought nothing of. And then the following morning, I had woken up with 103 fever, which stayed consistent for the entire day. So that's when me and my family started to get a little worried. And then after that, the fever went away, but fatigue, nausea, aches came along, a wet cough, and a lot of burning through my nose stayed consistent for the past 2 weeks now.
Uh-huh.
Besides
Okay.
from that, my father he had a constant fever throughout the week.
Right. And how did this compare to other illnesses that you've had in terms of severity? I mean, I assume you've had the flu and colds and things like that. How did it compare?
It was more intense on my body. A lot of people think since this virus is more lethal for older people, that it's not as effective to us younger folk, but it was very taxing on my body. I wasn't able to do a lot of like, manual labor or anything like that. And compared to the flu, it had run me down a lot more. I wasn't able to get up fast. I had completely lost my appetite. Just wasn't feeling well.
And what would you say to young people that are saying, hey, I'm young, no big deal. I'm going to go along with my life, go to spring break or whatever. What do you say to the young people that maybe aren't taking this quite as seriously?
That it seriously is not a joke. We think we're tough and we could take on the world, but at the end of the day, it isn't about us. If I go out and I had contracted the virus unknowingly, I then bring it back to my elderly family, my parents, my siblings, anybody else in the house, which is the biggest issue because I wasn't worried about me at all the entire time in the past 2 weeks. I was more concerned about my father's health, my mother's health, my grandmother, the people that you don't think about initially. Everyone wants to go out, everyone wants to have fun for spring break, but unfortunately, these are times that are different from the past spring breaks that we've experienced. Can't really be going out and around. Got to be safe, got to be precautious, which a lot of
Right.
people are throwing that out the window.
Of course. And was there anything treatment wise that worked better for you than anything else?
The only thing I was really told to by my healthcare provider was to basically treat it as the flu. So I had relaxed a lot, of course, and kept up on fluids. That was the main problem for me, was staying hydrated. I noticed when I was less hydrated, my symptoms were more severe and a little painful to deal with. So a very important thing to do is to stay hydrated and keep up your fluids.
So you feel like you and your dad both are coming out the other end of the tunnel now.
Now I would say, yeah, we're at the tail end of it, at least for me. He, I think, will take a little longer to recover, but for me, for the past few days, I have been feeling a lot better, a lot less severe symptoms, such as like nausea. I'm not as fatigued anymore.
Well,
But
this has been very helpful for you to share all of this with us. And thank you so much. And please give my best to your dad and tell him that we're certainly wishing him the best as well. And thank you for sharing all of